Hello, everyone. So, it seems like we've managed to sidestep World War III and put a pause on a potential regional conflict, for the time being at least. But hold on to your hats, because the geopolitical stage can shift quicker than you can say tensions. Case in point, Israel and Iran decided to exchange blows right on their own turf this week, marking a historic first. Now, why does this matter? Well, the weapons they used, the strategies employed, and the targets chosen all speak volumes about what they're capable of and what messages they're trying to send to each other. Curious to know more? Keep watching to find out. The burning question on everyone's mind: just how much firepower did Iran unleash, and what was their grand plan behind it all? Picture this. April 13th rolls around, and Iran comes swinging with a whopping 330 munitions. We're talking 130 ballistic missiles, 30 cruise missiles, and a fleet of 170 kamikaze drones. That's what you call a strike package in military lingo, a well-coordinated mix of weapons aimed at a specific target. So what was Iran's game plan here? Was it a calculated warning shot, or were they aiming to leave a trail of devastation in their wake? Iran's claim that they gave a heads up to the US, Turkey, Jordan, and Iraq 72 hours prior to the strike adds weight to the argument that they weren't unleashing their full might. By giving a diplomatic heads up about their intentions to target Israel via aircraft, they added a diplomatic twist to their strike plan. And get this, Iraq, Jordan, and Turkey have all confirmed receiving this warning. But could one of them have discreetly passed this intel to the US under the table? Given the tight-knit relationship the US military shares with these nations, it's not entirely far-fetched. But hold up. The official word from the US is a firm nope to receiving any such notice. Their stance: air defense assets were to be on high alert, ready for action within 72 hours alongside Israel, the UK, and Jordan. Now, here's a curious nugget. Iran waited a good 12 days after Israel's embassy strike in Syria before launching their own offensive. Seems like a deliberate pause, doesn't it? And Iran had a whopping 3,000 ballistic missiles in their arsenal, and yet they only fired off a mere 130. That's a head-scratcher. Plus, those 𝗔𝐤𝐥𝐸 drones they sent buzzing along? They were slower than molasses, taking a leisurely 6 to 9 hours to chug along to Israel. Talk about a slow burn. Israel's anti-air defense systems don't come cheap, with estimates ranging from 500 million to $1 billion, not to mention the additional 200 million likely spent countering the Iranian strike. So, how long could they keep batting away incoming threats consistently? It's a question worth pondering. But what if Iran was dead set on dealing as much damage as possible? The playbook they used, reminiscent of tactics seen in conflicts like Ukraine, suggest just that. Ballistic missiles like the 𝗫𝐺 zipping along at supersonic speeds are a nightmare to shoot down. Pair that with slower, low-flying cruise missiles, and you've got a recipe for chaos. Iran's strategy? Overload, divert, confuse. Those sluggish drones may have been easy to spot, but Iran bet on them throwing Israel's defenses into disarray, paving the way for the real heavy hitters. Launching both ballistic missiles and drones simultaneously was a clever ploy to outsmart air defense systems. The Wall Street Journal's analysis paints a revealing picture. Despite Iran's formidable arsenal, only around half of their ballistic missiles hit their intended targets, with 9 managing to breach Israel's defenses. That's an interception rate of almost 86%, far exceeding many predictions. Yet, it's a stark reminder that we mustn't underestimate our adversaries, and vigilance remains key for the US and its allies. However, the fact that some Iranian launches failed sheds light on the quality of their missiles. Infrared heat signatures detected by US military surveillance satellites revealed that some missiles veered off course, landing prematurely in Iraq and Jordan. Those botched launches captured in pictures circulated online underscore Iran's technical challenges. Moreover, Iran's delayed counterattack, 12 days after Israel's strike on the Syrian embassy, suggests meticulous planning. Transitioning missiles from underground bunkers to launch sites takes time, highlighting Iran's strategic preparations. It's a feat that's not lost on anyone familiar with the complexities of large-scale operations, be it in the corporate world, government, or military. Iran's failed attack serves as a stark reminder to not underestimate our adversaries. While Israel's counterattack may have been relatively subdued, the collaboration between Jordan, Israel, the US, and the UK underscores the importance of allied support in times of crisis. However, there's no guarantee that this alliance will hold under different circumstances in the future. The simultaneous rocket launch by Hezbollah in Lebanon on the day of the Iranian strike adds another layer of complexity. It could be interpreted as a coordinated effort to weaken Israel's defenses before Iran's attack, or as a demonstration of Iran's restraint in not involving Hezbollah in a larger assault. But why wouldn't Iran launch more ballistic missiles considering their sizable arsenal? Well, it's not just about the number of missiles, but also the number of launchers available. With only around 1 to 200 missile launchers at their disposal, Iran's capacity for simultaneous strikes is limited. The fact that even one or a few missiles manage to breach Israel's air defenses could serve as a stark warning. It's a reminder that Iran possesses the capability to exert pressure and hit strategic targets, instilling a psychological fear of what might occur with more devastating weapons, such as a nuclear strike. By targeting the Negev air base, located near Israel's rumored nuclear facilities, Iran may have aimed to convey the message that they could potentially strike these critical installations. Israel's response, however, took a different approach. Reports suggest they launched just 3 missiles, possibly air-to-ground, targeting Iranian air bases in Tehran and Isfahan. By employing a limited strike, Israel may have sought to convey a message without escalating the conflict further. Firing in such low volume could avoid provoking Iran into launching another massive ballistic missile attack, sparing costly air defense systems from undue strain. Iran, on the other hand, claims to have intercepted all but a few of the drones involved in the attack. Yet, reports from the BBC confirm damage to the Isfahan air base, including the destruction of an S-300 Iranian air defense position. Satellite imagery, utilizing optical and technological means, provides insights into the extent of the damage. The choice of the Isfahan air base as a target raises questions. Its proximity to Iran's largest nuclear plant, the Natanz enrichment complex, suggests Israel's concern about Iran's nuclear ambitions. Despite Iran's insistence on the peaceful nature of their nuclear program, Israel remains skeptical, viewing these sites as potential threats. Khamenei's remark offers a stark contrast in perspective. While debates over the specifics of the exchange may seem trivial to him, they underscore a broader narrative of Iran's emergence on the international stage. The Iranian leader downplays the significance of the strikes, likening them to inconsequential toys and suggesting they weren't worth mentioning beforehand. However, these differing views highlight the importance of investing in air defense capabilities. The significant portion of U.S. foreign aid allocated to air defense systems underscores their strategic importance. Israel, in particular, receives a substantial aid for this purpose, contributing to its ability to defend against potential threats. Moreover, both sides had a vested interest in portraying their air defense systems as effective and minimizing the extent of the damage. This mutual motive likely contributed to the avoidance of a larger conflict, as neither side sought to escalate tensions further by claiming significant harm. We've seen how crucial air defense is, especially with its hefty chunk in the U.S. foreign aid pot. $26 billion of funding for Israel alone, with a good chunk of that for their air defense. No wonder it played a big role in its defense game despite the damages they caused. Israel really flexed its muscles in defending against those attacks, didn't it? And you know what? It's a pretty clear message to anyone thinking they can shake Israel's security. They're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. But for how long? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your thoughts keep the convo rolling. Until next time, stay informed, folks.